Hi, everyone, and welcome to Let's Get Candid. I have a very special guest today. Today's interview is all about budgeting through a pandemic. And Risa, our guest today, will have 5 tips on how to budget through a pandemic. And we might have a little surprise for you at the end as well. We have made some changes to our broadcast. You can now find all of your favorite interviews on Instagram and on Facebook at Dancer, Traveler, Event Planner, and of course on YouTube at Addicted to Dancing. Today, my guest, she is a wife, a mom of 3, lover of all things equestrian, and all-out passionate financial advisor. She believes something amazing happens when you show up for one another, whether it be as a friend, a listening ear, or an expert willing to share some knowledge. She hopes that you do more, love more, dream more, and live more. When you look back on your life 10 years from now, she hopes that you can say, I'm exactly where I want to be. Please welcome Risa VanMiddlekoop. Hello, my financial advisor. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm okay. Thanks so much. It's a beautiful day today. It's so hot, and I'm so glad that you were able to come out of the sun and all the things that you were doing and do this interview with me today. Thank you. I see a little friend on your lap. Who is this?
This is Demry, one of my puppies, or dogs. I guess she's not a puppy, but she's puppy size.
Yeah, she's sweet. How many dogs do you have?
2.
2, right. And you ride horses?
Yes, I do. I have a horse named Maddie.
Very nice. Have you been riding horses for a long time, Risa?
Since I was a child, yes.
Oh, very nice. How lovely is that? So what have you been doing during this this time that we're at home? What have you been up to?
I've been working with my clients still. So although I'm not on the road seeing my clients face to face, I've been able to maintain my client schedule and still see my clients via Google Meet or Zoom meetings or any other online platform, as well as just by telephone. So I've been maintaining my schedule that way, and then spending time with my son, who's also home from school, of course.
Very nice indeed. Risa is, her company is called the Financial Diva, and she is a diva. She's a diva of finances and many things. I noticed your shoe collection. I do have to ask you about that. To your left it is. What have we got going on with those shoes, Risa?
That's one of my, I guess, trademarks is my shoes. I love my shoes very, very much. So yeah. I have quite the collection of pink and black shoes.
I can see that. I love it. That's fantastic. How many pairs do you actually have? And then we'll get on to other things, but how many pairs?
Altogether, I probably have between 400 and 500 pairs of shoes.
400 and 500 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
Blessings, girl. I need to come over and check that collection out. Like maybe find out what size you are, maybe borrow a pair now and again. So Risa, you're here today to talk to everyone about budgeting through the pandemic, and you've brought 5 key points with you. So the very first one is figuring out your weak spot and removing temptation. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I think it's really important during this time that we not just look at your budget, but what your spending is and reducing that spending so we can help your budget. So figuring out what your weak spot is and where your temptations are and just removing them. So if it's a website that you're always on, such as Amazon, take the app right off your phone, delete it, get rid of it, block it on your browser so that you can't go on it anymore. If you find yourself sitting on the couch watching TV, browsing Poshmark, delete the app, get it right off your phone so that the temptation isn't there anymore. And you'll find instantly your shopping and spending has been reduced.
Interesting. Yeah, that is true, because when you're sitting idly, I do the same thing. I'll just kind of flip through my phone and I'll check my Amazon account and see what, when the cat food is arriving, so to speak. But you do tend to, and you're just sort of like, maybe I'll buy this or I'll buy that. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said the other day she spent $400 just browsing Amazon. I said, what did you buy? She says, I don't know. I was just bored. So I think that's a really great advice. So you're saying just delete it right off your phone and block it on your browser. And that will help the temptation. It might be more difficult than it sounds, but it will help for sure.
Even if you delete the app but not the browser, then at least if you need to check the update of your cat food, you can go on your browser and check it,
right.
But the app isn't there on your phone as easily accessible.
So you're thinking the app is just too accessible because we always have our phones with us, and you know, you just sort of decide, oh, I need to buy whatever it is, and you can just click, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's really good. Actually, it's great advice. I'm going to do that. So our second thing is make a list, add up your purchases. So tell us a little bit about that.
So the first one there, making a list. So making a list of what you really need. So don't just make a list, check it twice before you leave the house, before you go into the store, and stick to your list. My husband knows I'm the worst for it. He does the grocery shopping because I'm not. I always go in hungry, right? That's the other part of it. Make a list and stick to it. So make sure you double check it before you leave the house that you've got everything, and then going into the store, stick to it. But don't just use it at the grocery store, use it anywhere. So if you're going into, you know, Reitman's, or you're going into the mall to go shopping for something else, then make sure you're only getting what you want, especially in this time where we want to be not in the stores as long.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's true. You know what I'm finding? I've been ordering my groceries online, which I will continue to do even providing this all settles down. But what I like about it is I'm able to stay within my budget, and I'm able to add to the grocery list as I need an item. And then I look at the budget and see if it's met the budget, or I might remove something or choose a different option. But I find that helps a lot, because I would do the same thing. I mean, on the go, right? I'd be like, oh, I need to run to the grocery store and pick up something, and then the next day I'm picking up 2 more things, and the next day I'm picking up 3 more things. This way I can plan the week a little bit better, and I've never been really good at it. So that was advice you gave me. So thank you. That's helped a lot. Just saying.
Yeah.
I shop once a week. So thank you for that. But yeah, that helps a lot too. And when you go to the grocery store and you're hungry, that's the worst. I'm the worst anyways. I'll just buy like everything, especially chocolate. Love the chocolate, right down to the candy aisle for sure. Number 3, what do we got here? Make shopping a challenge. I don't understand what that means. So tell us what make shopping a challenge is all about.
So make it fun. So one of the things that, or one of the reasons that you spend so much is you're in the store longer. So make it a challenge to yourself to see, I can get in and out of this store in 5 minutes. So you go in, you get what you want, and you get out, and you time yourself. So that way you have a stopwatch, right? You can do it on your phone. You just timer, start, and go, and get in and get out, get what you need, and then you're not stopping to look at other things. You're not going up and down aisles you don't need to. You're going in, getting what you need, and getting out.
Right. So that would translate really well to grocery shopping. What about if you're buying clothing, or you're at like a Home Depot or something like that? Same idea?
Yes. Yep, same thing. Because even if you're, you know, I need handles for my dresser right now. So if I go up and down all the aisles of Home Depot looking for what I want, I'm going to see other things that, oh, I need this, or I might need this. I'm going to need this. And you're going to add. Whereas if you go in, you ask someone, where are the handles? Go to the aisle, get your handles, get out. That's all you've got. Right. And make it that challenge to get in and out as fast as you can.
I'm going to try that. I didn't know what that meant, that number 3. So I'm glad that you explained that. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to put the timer on. Although, like I said, I don't really go shopping right now, but and the groceries are online, but I'm going to keep that in mind when they allow us to go shopping freely. Although I think some of the stores are open now. I haven't really paid too close attention, but I do see a lineup at Michael's, you know, the craft store. That lineup is that, and the LCBO, the lineups are super long. So I don't know if you're drinking while you're doing your crafts, or I'm not sure about that. But those 2 lineups when I do my morning walk are just, I don't know, they're 10 or 12 people deep. That's a story you can get lost in. What's that?
It's liquid inspiration.
It's liquid. That's right. Exactly. All right. Don't touch an item is number 4. Tell me about that. What does that mean?
So don't touch something before you're going to buy it. So if you're going to look at something you're not sure what you want, just look at it. Don't touch it. Don't pick it up. Because once you've picked it up and you've held it, it's more yours. It's now your possession. So you're more likely to buy it, keep it, and put it in the cart. So a lot of people say, I'll put it in the cart and decide later. You are 10 times more likely to keep that item now that you've touched it and put it in your cart, and you kind of own it now. So just don't touch it. Come back to it later if you still want it. But don't put it in and think about it.
Oh, that's great advice, actually. I do that all the time. It's like, oh, I'll just, put this in the basket, and then I'll walk around the store Like, oh, do I really need it? And I'll keep walking around the store, and sure as heck, it's in my car and in my closet. So yeah.
Exactly.
So basically, don't touch an item. So would you do that at a grocery store as well, or just sort of like for clothing, or does it apply to any type of shopping?
Anything that wasn't on your list, right?
Go
So
back to the list.
anything that wasn't necessary or decided on planning already.
Right. So we're going back to that, making that list and sticking to it. Yeah, very good. So it's figuring out your weak spot and removing the temptation. Make a list and to stick to your list when you're doing your purchasing. Make shopping a challenge. I like that one. So set a timer, get in and get out, and don't touch an item. It never would have occurred to me. I'm going to remember that. Risa, you have a number 6 for us, which is a bonus, and it is don't carry your credit card with you. This is interesting. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm going to make you wait on that one because we missed number 3.
Oh, did I miss number 3?
Adding up your purchases.
Oh, we have to add up. Okay, let's go back. Number 3, we're adding up our purchases. Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Everyone can wait in suspense for the bonus.
Okay.
But adding up your purchases. So over the last year, sit down, print out your credit card statements, print out your bank statements, take some time to do it, but add up all of those purchases that you got that were not necessary. Okay. And that maybe you've sold now, or you're sitting in the back of your closet, or you don't even remember what it is. Add all those up. What does that total? And decide, what were they worth it? Would you have bought it again?
Right.
So make yourself more mindful of how much you've spent in total, not just over a month. Because a lot of times we do our monthly budgets, which is a great thing to do. But go back over a whole year. What have you bought, and what is it total? And would you do it again?
Right, because if you're going back a year, some of the purchases, you probably don't remember them, quite frankly, right? I know, it's like, oh, did I even buy that? I have a question for you. So, sometimes I'll buy my groceries. I'm going to use groceries as an example with my debit card. Sometimes I use a credit card. I'm much better at budgeting my groceries now after working with you, of course. But I've noticed in the past it'd be like, if I'm spending, I don't know, I'm going to use a silly number, $50 a week for groceries, which is unrealistic, but I'll buy groceries and I'll put it on my debit card, and I'll put some on the credit card, and maybe I would pay cash. And then at the end of the week or the month, I've spent more than I was planning on spending on groceries. Would you recommend you use one form of payment for something like that?
Yes. I recommend cash or debit so that you can allot a certain amount for that item. Mm-hmm. So whether it be clothing or groceries or, home decor or whatever it is, even your crafts. Mm-hmm. So make sure you set a certain amount for each item, and then use either cash or debit for that, and be mindful of how much you're spending or allotting so that you don't go over that budget.
Don't go over the budget. Great. I do have a couple more questions for you before we get to the bonus, which I've kind of ruined, but that's okay. No one's going to remember that. What I said. What is the difference between a financial advisor and a financial planner?
The difference between the two is the designations or the credentials that you have. So the different courses that you've gone through in school, and that's really the only difference.
That's the only difference. Okay. And I had one more question for you. How to choose a financial advisor in Canada? And for instance, you're in Ontario, can you work with clients in BC or in Alberta? How does that work?
So with our credentials, we can get licensed in all provinces. So depending on the financial advisor you're working with, or if you're looking to move, you want to look for one who's licensed in different provinces. Okay. But we can be licensed in all provinces. So therefore we can be doing Zoom meetings all the time with different clients all over the country.
Right, that's very interesting. And you like to go visit your clients. You do a lot of, well, maybe not currently, but you're on the road a lot. And I love that about you, because you have come to my home many a times. We go through whatever we need to go through, and then you're always moving on to your next client. You have a very long day. You're all over the GTA, and I love that you come to me. I find that very convenient, and I would imagine most of your clients find that very convenient, that they don't need to go out and visit with you, but you come to them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that it's important to come to you, because it's a very tight relationship that you have with a financial advisor, in my opinion. Right. And that touches back, I guess, on your last question that I didn't answer yet. Yeah. But I think it's important to meet face to face, because your relationship with your financial advisor is very personal, because money is a very private and personal thing.
Right.
So you want to know that the person you're dealing with, you can trust, but not just you can trust them, but you can be very open with them. And you're
Right.
most open and comfortable in your own home. So that's the reason why I travel to my clients, is it's convenient and it's more personal.
Right.
But the other reason I can meet at your leisure and at your convenience, right? So I do most of my appointments in the evenings and weekends, because that's when my clients aren't working. I don't want you taking time off work and losing money, because my job is to make you make much money.
Yeah.
So I don't have you take time off work to meet with me. That's my one thing that I feel is really important.
Right.
Back to your last question about how to pick a financial advisor, whether it be in Canada, Ontario, or where, you want to interview advisors. So you want to take a couple if you have that opportunity or access to a few different ones, and you want to interview them until you feel 100% confident that you can be open about money, whether you have special things you spend on a monthly basis that you want, wouldn't tell someone. You need to be able to tell your financial advisor, because you need to be able to give them your full financial view, or else we can't help you properly. So you need to be able to trust and feel honest with that person, and they have to be able to meet with you when it's comfortable and convenient for you.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely. And that makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah. So when you're working though, how many hours do you typically put in a week, or does it vary? Because I feel like you're working all the time. Whenever I reach out to you, you're answering me. It's like
I work very long hours. I enjoy what I do, which makes it easy. So it doesn't feel like it's long hours. It kind of just becomes your life. But I do meet with clients in the evening. So meeting with clients, I think someone estimated the other day, I'm anywhere from 80 to 100 hours a week. By the time you do Sunday to Saturday, right? Morning to night.
Yeah.
Right now it's a little more convenient because I can be doing the online meetings, but it's still a long hour.
Right. I'm sure your clients will be happy to see you again face to face when this is done, when you're able to.
Yes.
And vice versa.
My car misses me, I think.
Your car. That's right. I forgot I even have a car, but yes, absolutely. All right. We can do the bonus now.
Okay. The bonus.
Yes.
So don't carry your credit cards. We gave that part away.
I did.
If you absolutely need to carry your credit card, put it in the end of an envelope, cut the envelope off, tape it up, and write emergency only on it. So that way it's harder to get into it. So it's not as easy as just pulling it out and tapping it. Take it so you know, and you have to make that mental note of you're taking it out and this is an emergency that you need to use it for. But my main idea and my main suggestion would be just don't carry them. Carry cash, carry debit, unless you're going to check into a hotel or anything like that. Just don't carry them. Leave them at home.
Right, leave them at home. So let's go back to the online shopping, which is very convenient and now is quite accessible. It's always accessible, but I think there's more spending online from what I've read. People will use their credit card for that. So how do you keep that from happening?
Don't save your credit card information on the website.
Right.
So you have to make a mental note to go to your wallet or to your purse, get a credit card, enter it in every time, and you're giving yourself that extra time to think about the purchase and make sure you still really want it. Or leave it in your cart till the next day. If you still want it, then go to your purse or wallet and get the credit card. Wait overnight, sleep on it.
Like the 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
Risa, this has been amazing. Thank you. So informative. And thank you for taking your time out of this beautiful day and giving us these top 6 very important recommendations on how to help with some of the budgeting through this pandemic. And I really appreciate that. There's some really interesting points that you made, and I made some mental notes. I'm going to write them down so I don't forget for later. But again, you've helped me greatly, especially with budgeting for groceries. I don't know why that was a thing for me, but thank you for that. And I haven't been through Starbucks very much, so yay, take that off my list.
Good.
Yeah, amazing. So I want to say thank you. So for everyone that's here, this is Risa VanMiddlekoop from the Financial Advisor. She's a financial advisor with with, she's a financial diva, actually. She's a diva. She's a diva. And I will make sure I put her website and all her social media up when I do the link here for the interview. So thanks everyone for joining us today. And Risa, thank you so much. You have an amazing rest of your day, and I really appreciate you hopping on the call today.
Thanks, you too, Kim.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thanks.